But this is the thick of it, and this is what I love about being in this city, is that you meet so many people who are actually making a difference, and it's not just within government, it's in nonprofit, and it's in advocacy, it's just grassroots on their own, and that's what brought me here. My background is I'm an electrical engineer. I grew up in Texas, had a variety of interests, deviated, failed, did a bunch of things. Where I am today is I run something called Link Tank. If you go to linktank.com, you'll see our site. It's a pretty popular site for, and what we do is we curate all the important events, informative events and experiences happening around DC. So policy events, so if you ever turn on C-SPAN, you might see like a Brookings talk or a hearing on the Hill, and so that talk is probably in Link Tank. In addition to that, we bring together the people and the organizations associated with it. So if you're more specifically, I want to talk about something on entrepreneurship, and it's a problem, it's a mistake that I made, and it's something for anyone who's interested in entrepreneurship, and it's something that you could actually apply to anything in your life, is just the idea of the lean startup idea. And I'll touch on that in a minute, but first let me just talk about this meandering path that I took and that some of you may end up taking, and it's okay. So you grow up in an environment, and like Monis' uncle said, you might be interested in medicine, or might be more of an imposition, and that's fine. You know, you do what you're exposed to. And I did an exchange program there, and Turkey was amazing. And for anyone who hasn't done study abroad, or they're not allowed to, or whatever, do it. Like, push your parents, because having an experience abroad, and not necessarily just Western Europe, like really push your limits and go to different places, Latin America, East Asia, South Asia, because it really just gives you such a perspective, gives you perspective on what we have here in this country, it gives you perspective on ideas, on how different cultures and how people deal with different things. And so for me, it was just eye-opening. It helped me see how people, I took electrical engineering courses, and that was really cool. I took strategic arms courses. I took a course on religion and politics in the Arab world, and I was just like, wow. Like, why didn't I do any of this when I was in college? Because I just loved it. I liked engineering. I was okay at it, but I loved this, and I excelled. And so I was stuck with this dilemma after I'd finished my coursework. And so from Turkey, I traveled all over the Levantine. I had taken some Arabic coursework, so I practiced that. And I came back to the US, and I was stuck. I was in a job market that was bad, just as bad as the one that some of you will be facing. Hopefully it'll be okay once you graduate. And decided that maybe I didn't want to be an engineer.
Unlike a lot of people, I actually knew I wanted to do business, probably from high school. There's a couple reasons for that. First, I'll be honest, I'm not going to lie to you, I wanted to make money. Something we don't talk about for some reason, but let's put it out there. I think a lot of us here like money, and we want to be successful at it, making it. Secondly, I wanted to have a career where I could kind of grow at my own pace, where I wouldn't be in a structured career path. To grow as a person and as an entrepreneur, you know, to push myself as far as I can without a structured career path. So now the problem is entrepreneurialism doesn't really lend itself well to, you know, having a structured career path. So what I did is I applied to business schools right out of high school. I got into the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania and spent the next 4 years studying business and engineering. Engineering because, you know, you have to do either medicine or engineering, so, you know, there you go. Now, at some point, people who hear this background, they think, oh, okay, you went to Wharton, they probably taught you everything there is to know, it's a good school, so on and so forth, and they'd be completely wrong. The thing is, every business school is studying the same thing. Some have big names, some don't. You're studying the same finance, you're studying the same accounting. What I got while I was there for 4 years was a tremendous amount of confidence. And what I mean by that is the confidence to know that, you know, I'd interacted with smart minds, the confidence to know that there isn't some secret business formula out there that's gonna automatically guarantee me some success. And basically, the confidence to know that with the right combination of hard work, strategy, and luck, anything's possible. And that's what the biggest takeaway was for me. So if you would just reflect on the confidence aspect of it, see, most people who are out here today, a lot of their entrepreneurial spirit will get crushed simply because they're afraid for some reason. They could be afraid of risk. Monis touched on this. They could be afraid of the unknown, or they could be afraid of failure. And if there's one thing you walk away with today, is to know that all of us up here, we're all afraid of these things still. When we started, we were afraid of these things, and we're still afraid of these things, but we manage that fear. And that's an important thing to acknowledge. You know, that's something that you're going to live with in business. It's something you're going to live with no matter what else you do. And having a healthy amount of fear, you know, I'm not saying just do whatever you want and, you know, just charge right in. But having a healthy amount of fear is critical in anything you do. Failure will happen, and fear is something that you might develop as a result of it. So, you know, manage that, and the more you manage that, the better off you'll be. And have confidence in yourselves, because there's really nothing special out there, that there's no mystery. You guys can all do it.
More of an accidental entrepreneur. I worked pretty much in a corporate job for 14 years. So today what I'll speak about is kind of some of my learnings along the way, and kind of what got me to eventually change careers and change my career track. And henceforth, some of the lessons that I would say came out of it. I, you know, did again engineering undergrad, same thing. We're all burdened by this. Can you hear me? I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
I said we were seeing a pattern here. Right?
Yeah, I know. I think it's just the disgruntled kind of undergraduate degree. But no, you know, it's again did electrical engineering, came out of college. Enjoyed electrical engineering, but not enough to get a job in it. And I remember interviewing with Intel, Microsoft, IBM, Cisco, and Analog Devices, all the firms, you know, mid-90s. And eventually decided just to go completely in a different direction into a sales job in a construction materials company. And what I really did enjoy and what I really wanted to do, irrespective whatever my path was I wanted to just run something, just run a business. And hence, you know, at the end of the day, I think it always helps to have some core motivation and some core desire. What is it you really want to do? So please always seek that out and keep that in mind. There are many paths to it. You can choose any path you want. I thought, you know, I'll just join a simple construction materials company and maybe work my way up to managing something. Hence my second lesson. When you do a job, when you do join a company, strategically manage your career. Understand that if you're sitting doing the same things for maybe 3 to 5 years, there might be something wrong. There might be something you want to figure out. You have to kind of see what the path in the company is. Someone told me in the firm a long time ago, oh, engineers never make it to the C-level. So I was like, oh, shoot, I'm done. You know, so it's like they were more of the accounting side guys, and some more of the, no, I'm sorry, let me take that back. Sales guys never make it to the C-level. Their plant managers were becoming future CEOs, future presidents. Their accountants were becoming that. There was no history of a sales manager ever making it past a certain level. So, you know, those kind of red flags you should always keep in mind.